Hello and welcome to the Underpaid Gamers Podcast. My name is Justin. I'm here with my friend and colleague Tony.
Hello.
What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a good day, good week. We got a couple things to talk about on the menu. Downloaded some games off Steam. Having a good time. Tony's looking at me real weird because this intro is so different than every single other one that I've ever done, and that's okay. So, without further ado, let's hit the theme song. So, what's going on? Talk to me.
You have angled the computer in such a way that I don't know that we're recording. Everything has gone to shambles. You've moved from one place to the next, and now everything's just off the rails. Not to mention that last time we recorded,
Talk to me.
There was a wonderful lady that came down in the middle of our podcast with cookies.
Yes, true.
And you, listener, didn't even know because she was so quiet. But mind you, it has shook me to my very core because we're no longer in our personal bubble where we can say whatever we want. We now have people physically in the same location as us that can listen.
Oh my god.
That have different opinions than us.
That's okay. I mean, everyone on the internet has different opinions than us.
But I don't have to see them.
That's true.
I don't care about their respect.
Oh.
So,
okay.
I might have less energy now than normal whenever we record at your place.
Right now, I'm the only one here right now, so. And will be today.
All right, ramping it back up.
You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. All right.
Underpaid Gamers Podcast is the official podcast of underpaidgamers.com. You can find us on, I almost said PlayStation. You can find us on PlayStation.
Well, you can with apps on PlayStation.
Yes. You can find us on SoundCloud and iTunes and other podcast services. Find us on Twitter at UPGamersPodcast.
True.
Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube at Underpaid Gamers. And email us at underpaidgamerspodcast at gmail.com. The longest email in existence.
It is very long.
But there are no numbers in it.
Do you know what I learned this morning on NPR?
Enlighten me.
The Council for Password Creation. I made up that name. But the council that makes recommendations
the CPC?
Yes.
Council for Password
People.
Creation?
They have changed their recommendations.
Oh.
From doing the word you can remember with a bunch of characters, random characters that you can't remember, to just making a long password that you can remember doesn't have to have any special characters.
So instead of my password for PlayStation, which is Sony1234!
Right.
They would rather me say, I like to play my Sony PlayStation.
Yes, and even spaces within there too.
Yeah.
Because apparently it doesn't make really any bit of difference to people trying to hack. And it just makes it really hard for everybody to remember their passwords, which is the truth. And so they are changing their minds.
Well, maybe they should have done that before. Every single piece of hardware and software now says it has to be 8 characters long, between 8 and 16.
Yeah.
You have to have an uppercase, a lowercase, a letter, a number, and a character.
Yeah.
Because that's just bogus.
It's real annoying.
Not only that, but almost every institution I've ever worked for makes you change your password
every 90 days.
Once every 60 days.
Yep, it's stupid.
Or every quarter.
So then you end up just like changing one letter.
Yes.
Or like the number goes up by 1 every time.
Yes, exactly.
And so that way you can track how many times you've had to change your password.
Yes,
so,
that's what I do.
It's real dumb. I'm not very happy about it.
The place I work for now, it makes you change every quarter.
Yeah.
But it keeps track of your last 9 passwords, and that's it. Oh. So once I hit the 10th password, I just go back to number 1.
There you go.
Which is number 1.
Just the number 1?
Just the number 1. Just 1.
1. Let me guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are your passwords.
Yes. That is all 9 passwords for all 9 password protected software.
I'm so good.
Justin.
Talk to me.
What have you been doing this week?
Man.
What have you been playing?
So, there's this game that I downloaded. So, as listeners, you may have recalled from last week, I built a new computer, a new gaming computer. And I was on Steam, and I was on Battle.net, and I was playing Diablo 3, which makes no sense. Like, I could play Diablo 3 on my old computer. Why am I playing it on my new one?
Oh, yeah?
I'm not sure. I don't know why.
The first thing I did when I got my PC was buy Skyrim. That's a 6-year-old game.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. Either way, I thought, man, I need to download a game that has a little bit higher graphics than Diablo 3. So I was like, perusing around the good old Steam store, looking, finding stuff. Came across a game that looked interesting. Celtic warrior woman. Viking kind of backdrop.
Not the title of the game.
Mythical.
Celtic warrior woman is not the title of the game?
Yes, no, that is not the title of the game. Saw all these things. Saw good reviews. Almost all positive. Googled it. The first review said, stop looking at this and just play this game. So I took its advice, bought it, started playing it. Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice is what it's called. It's based off of Viking and Celtic mythology about the afterlife. Essentially, this woman from a Viking raid lost a bunch of people, including her husband. She decides to go into the afterlife to rescue her husband from Viking hell. It's also based off of the psychiatric condition of psychosis. So they worked with people.
It's a Pokemon move.
Probably. They worked with some psychologists and some doctors and patients and people who have had psychosis before and tried to make the game emulate aspects of psychosis, which in the game is absolutely terrifying at times. The game is so terrifying. It's like a horror game, sort of. It's not like super gory like you might expect.
It's third person.
It's third person action game. So far,
mash and slash.
Yeah, it's
slash and dash.
Kind of like
Dash from Incredibles, Dash of Salt.
None of that. Either way, it's really good. Very artistic.
What is it kind of like? Is it possibly like Heavenly Sword?
It is exactly like Heavenly Sword.
The game that came before?
I mean, 2 generations ago, yes.
PS3?
Mm-hmm.
1 generation ago? Last gen?
Okay, last gen. I thought it was on PS2. My bad.
You're right. It was your bad. PS3.
Are you sure?
I turned it around on you, didn't I?
Are you sure it's PS3?
I have no idea. I never played it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, whatever. Either way, it's real fun. If you haven't checked it out, it has some like minor puzzles.
You're playing
and then action games. I'm playing on PC, so you can check it out if you.
Is that a combo game where you have to? What is it like? What's the gameplay like?
You explore.
In third person.
In third person, the Viking afterlife.
So is it an RPG?
No, it's an action game, like I said. Action adventure, sort of. Third person, there are puzzles, and then that releases you to go into fighting sequences.
Like Kingdom Hearts?
No. Where you kind of actively sword fight.
Like Mass Effect?
Not 0% like Mass Effect. So different.
You're not really giving me a lot to work on here.
What about third person?
What game is it like? Mass Effect and Kingdom Hearts are both third person. I'm describing
it, and you keep interrupting me with games that are not even close.
You're not giving me anything to work off of.
Third person,
exploration,
sword fighting.
Okay, Kingdom Hearts.
You work into the different engagements. In it, you can do regular strikes and heavy strikes. You can kick. You can block and you can dodge.
So is it mostly about the combat?
Strafing. I mean, it's mostly about the setting and the story and the voices that you hear the entire game that are absolutely terrifying. You kind of go through to defeat the...
Is the gameplay primarily combat or exploration?
It's about half and half,
puzzle?
I'd say. So far, it's about half and half. Though I haven't beat it yet, so there's that.
Open world or linear?
Pretty linear. As in linear.
So like God of War?
For the most part. Yeah, I mean, you could choose like the order that you go through a couple areas. Like, do I go through this area or this area? But once you hit that area, that's where you're going until you finish it. Spits you back out. Then you pick the next path to go. If that makes sense. You're really struggling to visualize what I'm trying to say.
I'm just trying to understand it.
So yeah, that's the game.
What else have you been doing?
Lots of Diablo 3, which is stupid, but I love it. Can't stop. Downloaded the expansion to it, beat that. Been starting to get into Paragon levels, which is interesting. It's like the leveling after you max out. I want to work up to the higher level difficulties, but I'm not even close yet. There are people who are listening, one person in particular that I'm thinking about, who listens to our episodes, who will be laughing at me when I say that I've only gotten to expert on the difficulty track because it goes normal, hard, expert, torment 1 through 10. So torment 1 through 10 being way harder each time. Or 11. Might be torment 11. I don't know.
So expert's for chumps.
Expert is, every time you jump up a difficulty, you get more loot. Better loot, more gold, better gear, whatever, more experience. So it helps to be able to go up, but if you go up too fast, then you just die a bunch.
Oh.
And that sucks. Because you lose your items. You lose durability, so...
And experience or not?
Not experience. Yeah. So lots of Diablo.
How's your Battlegrounds going? Your PUBG?
My PUBG? We played some PUBG.
We played some PUBG.
Last week, right? Last Saturday? No. What day was that? I don't remember. We played a couple rounds. We didn't play super long. But we played duo PUBG.
Thursdays, I think. Because you had to go to school.
Yeah.
You're like, it's 6:30, I have to go to bed.
Basically. I went to bed at 8 p.m. yesterday. And I felt great when I woke up.
Good.
Because I went to bed midnight the night before. And then I was so tired. So, what have you been playing? What are you up to?
We played PUBG together.
We did. What do you think? How do you think we did?
Not very well.
Not very well? I got 2 kills that one time. That was fun.
You don't have a lot of experience with it.
I really don't.
Because you're too busy playing Diablo, a game that came out 1,000 years ago.
That's true.
Get with the times, man.
In my defense, PUBG is only one map that you play over and over again, which is kind of the same thing over and over again. As I say, try and defend Diablo, which is literally the same thing over and over again. But there's loot dropping, so it's like you build towards something. PUBG, it's like...
Yeah, so PUBG, there's loot drops, and you build towards something.
Yeah, that you're done with in 10 minutes. And then it's all over again, nothing.
Is Diablo or PUBG more similar? Like, the playthrough? I know people replay Diablo all the time because there's more loot. Mm-hmm. But isn't it exactly the same thing? Like, don't the minions spawn or whatever they are called, like, exactly the same place all the time?
No. It doesn't. They have, like, a generator system that generates, like, elites with different categories and powers and things. And so each time you go to an area, there are different spawns with different, like,
Is there PvP in Diablo?
No. PvE. You can do co-op.
PUBG is different.
They're very different. I don't know why we're trying to compare them.
Because you're like, I don't like PUBG because it's the same every time.
Well, I mean, I do like PUBG. I just don't like playing PUBG for like 6 hours. I like playing PUBG for like an hour and a half max. Play like three
rounds.
3 rounds. And I'm good. For the day. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
How many times have you done that? Once?
3 times. Where I've played 3 rounds in a day.
I think PUBG gets better the more you play it.
Probably. I just haven't had good experiences with it so far. I mean, I enjoy the mechanics of the game. I enjoy that it's like I'm on my toes the whole time. That's fun. But when I finish a map, I'm like, oh man, all that stress and anxiety's gone. Time to do it again. Like, nope, not how I'm feeling all the time. Or it's like, man, I tried so hard to stay alive and then I died and I had all that great gear. And now I gotta start all over again from fresh. That sucks. That made me feel bad.
I can see where you're coming from.
But it's also fun.
I can even relate to you on some level.
It's fun. I'm not trying to say it's a bad game, because I definitely think on a list of good and bad games, it's on the good list of games. I just think in terms of hours to sink into a game, I would prefer to sink my hours into a game that you kind of build towards something. Like an RPG or, I don't know.
As someone
some sort of campaign game.
That is pathetic at PC gaming, me.
Okay. I'm glad we referenced
not you.
Me or you here, and it was you.
Me. PUBG is nice because I can see improvement. So, like, for me, playing PUBG with less PC experience, I'm like, okay, how do these controls work? And then I'm like, okay, I get better at these controls, now I'm better at the game.
Sure.
Whereas you just kind of go in and you're like, I already know how to control all this. So there's less learning curve for you.
Well, I don't need to learn how to play a shooter control a shooter. I mean, every shooter's different, but like I know how the mouse works and aiming and WASD and C and
you're better at that. So you're just like,
for the most part.
So when I play, I have more percentage of improvement game by game because I'm getting better at just using the PC.
Sure.
Whereas you is much less drastic of your improvements.
Yeah, the only improvements I got was like, oh, you can have a plan when you fall from the airplane. Other than, I'm going to go out here in the country or I'm going to go to that city, which is what I was doing. I was just like, oh, that looks good. Let's go there. But when we played, you had a plan. You were like, oh, these buildings right here, they're a good place to start because they got lots of good stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. No idea you could do that, and I didn't know that the map was... I knew the map was the same every time, but I didn't know, like, stuff spawned in, like, the same place all the time.
I don't think stuff spawns. I think I've seen hate maps of good spawns versus bad spawns. I mean, obviously, there'll be more stuff in a city, more spawn points than, like, in a field where there's no spawn points.
Sure.
So, we'll have to play more together.
We should.
The weekend.
We definitely should.
See if we can change your opinion. I've been playing...
I still like it. I don't want it to come across...
To increase your opinion.
Okay. That's fair.
I've been playing Just Cause 3.
Oh, yeah. PlayStation Plus game.
The PS Plus game of August, I believe.
Tell me how you feel about the grappling hook thingy.
So I played Just Cause 2. I borrowed it from a friend in college, and I played it for maybe 1 or 2 days. I'm like... It's fun to swing around, but I really didn't care about the story, and I really only played it to swing around
and destroy things.
Like
yeah,
and I guess destroy things, which I don't necessarily care for either. And Just Cause 2 was fun, so I was a little hesitant to buy 3 because I wasn't so sold on 2. And then I got 3 because it's free. And it's right in that perfect time slot in the summer where I just finished Persona and Destiny 2 is coming out, so I don't want to be too addicted to something.
Yeah.
But I'm having so much fun playing this game. I played it for today and yesterday, so 2 days experience on my belt. And I just found out how to, like, quote-unquote level up your character and get better upgrades, not gear, but upgrades, like different things you can do with your grappling hook, and you can unlock nitrous for your cars and a jump for your car and combat
stuff,
accessories and things like that, and more grenade spots and things like that. I'm enjoying it a lot. The grappling feature is great. They really perfected it. Square Enix is who makes it. Which every time I boot it up and it says Square Enix, I always think to myself, this is going to be a good game. Square makes good games.
For the most part.
For the most part. So I'm like, okay, they got a good person behind this. Story I couldn't necessarily care less about. You're in this coastal Italian countryside, and there's a dictator that they found. New energy source, and he wants it all for himself, and you can make weapons out of it, or fuel, or whatever.
Yeah.
So very, very standard stories so far.
Sure.
A lot of the time, this is the third game, and I think it's continual from 2 and from 1. It kind of just throws you into it, and without having a lot of experience with the game, it's very interesting, because they kind of just almost expect you to be really good at these kind of things.
Yeah.
I would say the combat is actually the weakest part. It's the part I look least forward to. If I'm going to raid, one of the story missions I did today, which is very early in the game, is you have to go to this military compound, and something you're looking for is in a shipping container. And because you have the grappling hook and the parachute and everything, it's all tiered at different levels and different altitudes. So you have to open up all these different shipping containers, and you're looking for this one thing.
Yeah.
And it's on 3 different platforms, 3 different levels, and so I jumped down to the bottom one first and opened all those, and of course I'm in a combat zone, so all the enemies shoot on sight, as you'd expect. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I kept looking through all these shipping containers, and I would fight guys every once in a while. And it's really cool because you can grapple on it, like you can shoot your grapple onto somebody and swing into them and like kick them. And it knocks them down. It doesn't kill them though. At least with the current upgrade I have, it doesn't kill them automatically. It just kind of knocks them down.
Sure.
So I was doing that and that and that, and I was going to all these different shipping containers, and I found the one in like the 4th or 5th shipping container I found the thing. And then from there you had to go to this other part of the city and put it in a specific location. So I did that, and I realized that this is a big story mission, and I didn't really want to fight anybody. I just kind of wanted to get it done. And I only killed 2 people of a whole army, and only knocked out like 3 different people. So I was having... That sounds weird because it's very combat based, but I was just having fun like going through as fast as I could and being like a ghost.
Yeah.
Or like very secretive. I mean, there's no stealth to this game, but I was just going through really fast. I was like grappling hook from one shipping container to the next, opening it up, seeing if it was in there. It wasn't. Okay, now I'm going up some altitude to find this other one and these other things.
Yeah.
So I was actually really, really happy with how that turned out, because I always have this thing where I think like, what do the people of this city, of this country or whatever think of me as a character?
Sure.
I'm like, so the military, of course they're like, this guy's a rebel, he's killing all of us, he's making us look bad, he's attacking our dictator leader.
Sure.
But if this won't happen in the game, of course. But I like to think that maybe I've changed some minds of the military leaders. Like, he raided our compound and only killed 2 people and knocked out a few people and safely got away.
Yeah.
But then also, they were chasing me, and I was like a 5-star pursuit, like you would find in GTA or whatever game.
Yeah.
So they're chasing me with helicopters, and the best way I have found to get helicopters off of you, or if you have multiple helicopters, is to grapple onto the bottom of them, and you can then hijack it. When you hijack it, you take the pilot and you throw him out of the helicopter.
So he's probably dead.
So he's probably dead unless he has a parachute. And then you can hop out of the helicopter, and you can stand upside down on the bottom, and then you can grapple hook onto another helicopter if you have 2, if there's 2 after you, and I do the same thing. So the first helicopter that doesn't have anybody in it falls to its doom and blows up.
Yeah.
So nobody can use that. And now I'm in the other one, and there's that person guy's thrown out, and now I have this helicopter.
Sure.
Then nobody can see me because I'm high up in the air, and there's nobody like has eyes on me, and that's the best way I have found to get rid of like the heat, they call it. So I guess including those 2 guys, I killed like 5 people in the whole raid. But I'd still like to think that the government and the military
that's
like,
impressive.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, this guy isn't so bad, I guess.
He only killed 5 of our guys.
Yeah. There's a really cool feature. This game is kind of old, so you've probably seen videos and highlights of this game when it first came out, but you have a grappling hook, and it's kind of 2-pronged, so you can attach one end to like an explosive barrel and one end to like a gate. And once you have those 2 attached, you can press L2 button, and they zip towards each other.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So if the gate's stationary, the barrel's not, the barrel will then fly into the gate, blow it up, and you can get through it that way. I have found it is more fun. One level, I was being pursued in a truck. So, like, there was a guy driving the truck, and I had to take him somewhere, so I was in the back of the bed. And I was being pursued by tanks and like, technical jeeps and, like, a helicopter. It was so awesome because the helicopter was flying low, so I attached one hook to the helicopter and attached the other hook to the ground, and then zipped them together, so the helicopter flew face first into the ground and blew up all the other cars. I'm like, all right, I feel pretty good about that one.
That's nice.
So the movement in this game is it's really fun and more fluid, and I just figured out how to unlock things. You do that by completing challenges on the level, like the main path itself, the land, which wasn't exactly explained to me, but I'm glad I figured it out because now I can unlock upgrades.
Sure.
So you have a grappling hook and a wingsuit and a parachute. Essentially what you do is you grapple onto something and you zip towards it, it grapples you, and then you throw up your parachute, which then makes you gain altitude. Once you're at the peak altitude, you switch to your wingsuit, and then you can fly for quite a long time with your wingsuit. And then while you're in the wingsuit, you can grapple onto something else and you get a speed boost, and it zooms you, and you go past it, and you get a lot of momentum that way. The reason I bring it up is because it's very fluid and it's very easy to use. It's not something that I've really ever had problems with. As soon as I figured out how to use it, I've been doing really well. Which is good for multiple reasons. One, it makes the game mechanics very fluid, and that's my favorite part of the game.
Sure.
Second, with Spider-Man PS4 coming out in 2018, they have similar kind of webbing type of thing. I would expect Spider-Man and expect Insomniac to take kind of what Just Cause is doing with their grappling hook and add that to the Spider-Man. While you don't necessarily web swing from buildings, there is a lot of zipping in Spider-Man, where you grapple onto something and you pull yourself towards it. So I'm really it makes me even more excited for Spider-Man, just knowing that like there is good quote-unquote web mechanics already out there that have been expressed in Just Cause 1, 2, and 3, plus also Spider-Man 2 on the PS2. So not that necessarily I was worried about the web mechanics in Spider-Man PS4, but it's just nice to know that like I assume it's going to be in good hands. And it's very grappling and flying and everything is my favorite part of Just Cause 3. And if Spider-Man PS4 is anything like Just Cause 3, it's going to be my favorite part of Spider-Man PS4.
There you go.
So if you want to play Spider-Man before Spider-Man comes out, I suggest downloading Just Cause 3 and just zipping across the world.
Zipping around on the grappling hook.
So that's what I've been playing.
There you go.
That and also PUBG a little bit by myself. Now that I've gotten more into Just Cause 3, I'm kind of less PUBG. And now that I've been tainted and I've played duos, solos is not nearly as much fun.
Really?
Yes.
It's not more nerve-wracking? I feel like with duos, it's nice because you have someone you can be like, oh yeah, they're looking around too. But when you're by yourself, it's like you can't see. And like you see what you can see, but man, you could die.
Well, I just have no one to talk to.
Oh.
It's no fun. I didn't mention this last week, but I had downloaded Final Fantasy Tactics on my phone. I tweeted this out.
You did?
It was on sale on the Google Play Store for like $6, which is 50% off, which is a great deal.
Sure.
Can't speak to if it's still like that or not.
Mm-hmm.
And they have a tutorial that kind of teaches you how to do everything on the phone because it's used to not be on your phone. Mm-hmm. It's not a phone-centered game.
It is not.
They changed it from the original platform, the PSP, and now it's on your phone, so it's touchscreen. It's very different.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the tutorial, and the tutorial was like 2.5 hours long.
It was very long.
Did you play it?
Well, I had downloaded the game before the sale.
Yeah, so I had no idea, and they even recommend, they said, do the tutorial before you do the game because we've made it specifically for the phone, and you need to get used to it. So I said, okay, I did all this, and it goes through every little thing. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, are they going to tell me this again once the game starts, or is this the only option I get?
Mm-hmm.
And should I really be paying that much attention, or should I just be clicking through because of all these other things? But also at the same time, they're not going to throw all this at me at once. It has to ramp up to a little bit because that's how games work.
Sure.
So I played the tutorial for literally two days, trying to read everything in my free time between jobs and work. And then I hadn't touched the game for 4 or 5 days, and then today I was waiting on you. We were going out to dinner, and I started the game and I was playing it, and I was halfway through the intro cutscene and through some of the dialogue. Then you pulled up, and I put it away. So I haven't played any of the game other than the tutorial and a couple lines of dialogue in the very beginning.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited. People say that Final Fantasy Tactics is one of the best games of Final Fantasy ever created, and 2, just one of the greatest games of all time. And I like kind of over-the-head checkerboard strategic games like Fire Emblem and Final Fantasy Tactics. So I feel like this will be really good for me.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So you're talking about the phone version Final Fantasy Tactics, and it probably says WOTL, right? Yeah. Yeah, I played
War of the Lions.
Yeah. I tried to play a little bit of that. I just got really frustrated with the controls.
Yeah.
With trying to, it just took so much effort to, move somebody, point somebody the right direction, things like that. I kind of got meticulous with my big fat thumbs. It was like, meh. But
I just got an S7 not that long ago.
Yeah.
Because the old phone I had was a Samsung Galaxy Alpha, which is like a knockoff of the S4.
Yeah.
So now I have a big screen. And I used to play games on my Alpha. I'm like, this kind of sucks. I can't wait till I get an actual phone. So now I have an actual phone.
You do.
So hopefully it'll be a little bit better.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to start playing it. Maybe I will fall prey to the sausage finger epidemic that you have also fallen prey to. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. A mobile game I'm excited about that I downloaded, Knights of the Old Republic, Star Wars, from the original Xbox game. Do you remember that?
Yeah, you downloaded that
a long time ago.
2 years ago.
I'm still playing it in my free time.
You were playing
from
that
time to
before one of the Star Wars movies came out. I don't know I think it was episode 7.
Maybe.
You just downloaded it. You're like, this game is so awesome, and you were playing it, and I'm like, whatever. And then you're still playing it.
Still playing it.
Gosh.
It's a long game.
Have you gotten farther?
Yeah, I made progress. It's just a long game when you only play it in 5-minute stints.
Mobile gaming is really hard for me.
Because you can't really get into it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's another game, Knights of Pen and Paper. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I have that one on my phone too.
I just downloaded that one too and been playing that. It's good. My brother suggested it to me.
I like that one.
It's essentially, for those of you who don't know, it's essentially D&D in a mobile game.
Yeah.
And it's very fun. It's a fun-centric, kind of all the dialogue is just kind of funny and quirky. And you essentially pretend to be these people, and you just kind of go through, and it's RPG. It's well-designed. It's very fluid and makes a lot of sense, I think.
I really liked it until I got to the point where you can recruit, a whole bunch of different people on your companions list.
Yeah.
I really don't like it when games just throw you a whole bunch of like a large party, especially RPGs like that. I like it when you gradually get more and more people, so that way I get, one, more attached to those people, and two, I can kind of understand how they work.
Sure.
Whereas Knights of Pen and Paper is like, okay, you've done a couple quests, now all these slots are open, you just have to pay for people to sit in them.
Yeah. And
you can have like 3 extra people, so you have a total of 5 or something like that. I don't necessarily like that. So that's literally, once I had the option to unlock a whole bunch of people, I stopped playing, because I'm like, this is too overwhelming. Because Fire Emblem does it really well, where you get like 1 or 2 people each level.
Sure.
And...
that's the fun. I think that's fun in this game because you get to build your team the way you want it because you have different options for classes, and so you could do like a magic heavy group, or you could do like a melee heavy group, or you could do mixed, whatever you want.
Right. It was just too overwhelming for me.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Still excited for Dragon Quest XI though, coming out 2018. 2018 is gonna be a big year.
You're excited.
Big year for me.
Kingdom Hearts 3. Nope. Never coming out. Lots of games. I'm excited for this September. Honestly.
What's coming out in September?
A lot of games. Specifically, the one I'm excited for is one that I pre-ordered.
All right. Well, good episode. We'll see you guys next week.
Destiny 2!
Oh, you wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it! Oh my gosh, trying to get rid of me that quickly, huh?
Someone has to.
So, Destiny 2.
So you pre-ordered it?
Pre-ordered it.
Which is more than I can say for 1, myself, and 2, our group.
Yeah.
Nobody plays it.
Now, my brother has already committed to buying it. Okay. So, there's 2 of us from the original... 6 of us who got it so long ago.
Well, I did message your brother last night on PSN, because that's the only way I can get a hold of him.
Right.
And... he said that you were gonna get, he was gonna get it, and I totally forgot to respond to him. Because I asked him if he was gonna get it, and he said, yeah, this and this and this, and I forgot to respond. I feel really bad. I feel probably like you. Although you probably don't feel bad when you don't respond.
It's one of those things that you just accept that part of yourself. Yeah, so Destiny 2. My question to you,
the listener, or to me,
and to the listener.
Oh, okay.
Is what's the best way to play this game? Is it on PlayStation? Is it on Xbox? Or is it on PC? Which, maybe. I don't know. Using Battle.net as a service on PC. The potential for better graphics on a PC. Better frames per second, potentially.
Really?
What do you do? I don't even know.
What did you pre-order it on?
Well, I don't want to reveal that yet.
That's what you're going to do.
I'm going to reveal it at some point.
So you want to talk about whether Destiny 2...
Destiny?
Which... Destiny 2,
Destiny
PC or
2.
PS4?
There it is.
The best of Destiny.
What do you think?
Well, this is the first time that Destiny has been allowed to be played on the on PC.
That's true.
And Battle.net is quite the server to be releasing it on.
It is a premier platform.
They have been notorious for great platforming.
Notorious for good things.
Blizzard, having Blizzard behind it is very good for Activision for Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Very reliable. So the differences between PS4, PS4 Pro, and their equivalent, i.e. Xbox One S, Xbox One X, awful name, and then PC, the difference between all those.
Yeah. So,
on all the consoles, the frame rate is capped at 30 frames a second, even on PS4 Pro. And when that news came out, a lot of people were so upset. Like, how come I have a PS4 Pro and it's at 30 frames a second? This is absurd. I can't believe this. I'm like, why wouldn't it be?
I don't know.
PS4, I mean, it's not that much better than PS4.
I mean, are people mad because they bought the PS4 Pro assuming that games would always be able to run faster?
Nobody bought the PS4 Pro.
Yeah, some people did.
Some people did. They might have sold like 1 million or 2, but...
Just 1 million or 2.
Yeah, well, 52 million for the PS4.
Yeah, that's true.
Just a drop in the bucket.
That's true. Fair enough.
PC, it's uncapped frames per second.
Which makes sense.
As many as your computer can run, and better graphics, and it runs better, of course. And PC will be the best platform for you to play on, but PS4 is what they prefer you to play on, it seems like, because they have the deal with PS4, and everything comes earlier to PS4
Right.
and all that.
And I don't think either that... Did they announce the release date for PC too? Did they say... Remember in the original announcement they didn't have a date for PC?
I don't know when it's coming out yet. I didn't research. From what I knew beforehand...
Yeah.
And correct us if we're wrong, audience... PC is going to come out later than PS4 and Xbox. So some people are like, well, I'm going to buy it on PS4 and then play it like that, and then switch over to the PC and play it like that. Like, why don't you ever buy this game twice?
Right.
Especially since there's going to be so much DLC and you're going to spend so much money on it anyway. Some people spent like $300 on Destiny 1.
That's true.
Which is absurd. I spent $75, maybe, on Destiny 1, and I still feel a little cheated.
How cheated do you feel?
A little.
Just a smidgen?
Like, if I would have paid $10 for expansion, I might have feel better.
I found the release date for Destiny 2 on PC.
What is it?
October 24th.
Okay, so...
A month. More than a month.
Almost 2 months afterwards.
Yeah. It says PC Gamer.
So that's a long time. So what does that mean for people that... So who is going to get Destiny on PC? Is those the people that love Destiny so much they want to get the most out of it, and therefore will play it uncapped with better graphics and better running speed? But that also means they have to wait 2 months, or are they going to buy it on a console and then redo everything on PC?
This is what I don't understand. Is PlayStation still has this deal with Bungie with this game, but they get everything first. So first off, and I have friends who play Destiny on Xbox. I get it. You bought an Xbox, you want to play Destiny.
You made a bad purchase decision, and now you feel like you need to defend yourself by buying Destiny. I get it.
It is very obvious to me, and I don't know why people argue this. It is very hard for me to understand why Destiny 2 is better on Xbox. I've heard people say things like that before, and the best argument I ever hear is, well, Xbox has better people. But that's a terrible argument, because PlayStation has 52 million people, so how can it really be that much better? It really isn't.
I've used the Xbox One before. That dashboard is awful.
Yeah, it is pretty bad.
I can't navigate that thing worth crap. Nothing is better on Xbox.
That's my position, because Sony has this deal with them. They get things first. Why would you not... And the nature of Destiny being not just like... It's not like a map pack you get first. You get like expansions first.
And exclusivity to some things.
And some things are only on. And some people may say like, oh, I don't care about the exclusivity. Which me too, probably don't really care that much about the exclusivity part. But it's the getting the expansions earlier. Like, some of the expansions for Destiny 1 took a while to get to the other consoles. Not like you got the expansion 3 days earlier. It was like weeks, even months.
Yeah.
And so, to me, it's like not even an argument that it should be on Sony. It should be on PlayStation as opposed to Xbox. But when they flirt with the PC, that's when you start running into the... You can get 4K graphics. You can get crazy frame rates. People generally believe that shooters are better on PC, with the mouse and the keyboard being the optimal, better shooting, at least, with a mouse than with a thumbstick. So to me, the experience of any shooter is better on a PC, but you have to wait. And that waiting is enough for me not to get it on PC. I'm not waiting 2 months.
Playing Destiny as soon as it comes out, as soon as the expansions come out, as soon as the raid drops, has so much benefit to waiting. Because the way that we like to do raids and the way we had most fun was just going in blind.
Without watching anything,
figuring out how to do anything
else.
And it really, towards the end of Destiny, even like the second raid, we did it like 3 days after the raid dropped, and there was already people in our group that were like, I've already seen how this is done. I've watched YouTube videos. I've watched people stream it. I know what to do. And me as a player, I've already lost some aspect of like...
Of the fun.
Right,
because you're supposed to figure it out, which we did with the first raid.
Yeah.
And it was great.
It was so much fun. So think if you had to wait even a week to get it on Xbox. All that could you rely on 5 of your friends to not look at anything, or not hear anything, or not see anything on Twitter, or see anything about on Facebook or anything?
Definitely not.
Or YouTube, and then go in blind?
Definitely not.
Even with our group, the group that has been dedicated to wanting to do this, I don't trust them to not know anything.
And not to say anything.
Yeah.
As we're going to go through it. Yeah, no, to me, like, 2 months for PC, waiting for 2 months for PC is just too long. It's just too long.
So let me change it. If PC came out the same day as PS4, what would you do? Brand new PC.
I would probably get it on PC.
Would you?
Yeah, and this comes into the weighing it with, is my group playing on PC as well?
Who in the group of the 6 that originally played, who in the group has a PC that can play with you? Just 2 people.
Yeah.
Me and your brother.
Yep.
So you're already,
but right now, we're the only ones who are planning on playing anyways.
Well, Epic Tim says he won't. But I'm sure as soon as we get it,
he will.
He was talking to me the other day. He's like, I don't buy video games that often. I don't play. I'm like, you're gonna get Destiny. You're gonna get.
Shut up.
Shut up,
Epic Tim.
Doesn't believe that Red Dead Redemption was delayed until 2018.
He doesn't believe that?
Even though it was announced like months ago.
That's a thing.
Shout out to Epic Tim.
Yeah. Love you, dude. Oh, man. Yeah, so, I mean, to me, it seems like if that was the case, I would get on PC if we all were planning on still getting it that way.
I hate that I'm so bad at PC gaming.
You're going to get there. You need to just give yourself time.
I'm prideful in most of the things that I do. And being not the worst at things. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much... Okay, my goal is normally to be like top 2 of the best that we're playing. But being not the worst is a good goal to set for myself. If we were playing on PC, I would be dragging everybody down.
Maybe.
It would be awful.
I don't know.
You would be better at platforming on PC than I would be.
Whoa. You really think you could be that bad?
Yes.
That's like pretty bad. I'm pretty bad at platforming. You realize this.
Yes, I have played with you.
That's true.
Oh, the beta, the strike was kind of platform heavy in some areas.
Oh, Lord, help me.
Which is fun. I like platforming. Platformers are super good for me.
People are going to melee me off the map again, aren't they? I'm going to make it onto a ledge. That's what happened in the first raid all the time. That frustrated the crap out of me. I make it through the first platforming spot, and then people would just wait and melee me.
Build a wall.
Boot me off or something. So mad.
Worth it.
It was hilarious, though. It was a good time. So yeah, I mean, I think it's as it stands, buying a PlayStation is the best, in my personal opinion, and that is what I did. I pre-ordered it off of Amazon.
Did you pay for the whole thing?
Yeah.
You got a discount?
Yeah, it was $50. It was $50.
Is that Amazon Prime?
Amazon Prime.
I don't have Amazon Prime. I'll have you pre-order it for me.
Yeah, as a
Ship
gift
it to my place.
As a gift that you pay me back for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're just going to do it, in which case, no, I'm not going to pay you back.
Yeah.
So based around exclusivity of what comes with the PS4,
the timing,
and the fact that you already have friends on PS4 that are going to play.
That's true. And I had a good experience with Destiny 1 on PlayStation as well.
What do you think your livelihood of Destiny 2 is going to be here for you? With Battlefront 2 coming out, Call of Duty World War 2, I think is this a year when you buy a Call of Duty?
This is the year that I buy Call of Duty. Okay. I did not buy last year's Call of Duty.
So this is the year you buy Call of Duty. This year you're going to buy Battlefront 2. How long do you think you're going to play Destiny 2? Pretty much until November, or do you think maybe a little bit afterwards?
At least till November. I think it depends on where I'm at with the game. Usually games wear out for me after a little bit more than a month. If I really like it, usually I can play it constantly for about a month before I kind of peter out on it. Sometimes I come back to it, but because I think that's what I did with Destiny 1. Is I played basically until the first expansion.
If you ask me, I would say that you didn't like Destiny 1 that much. Because I was always playing with everybody but you. I don't know if you were just super busy all the time.
I mean, generally, I don't have a lot of time to play video games.
But you were living by yourself, so it's not like you had roommates to hang out with.
I feel like I play Destiny all the time.
I think that's when Game of Thrones came out, and you're just like, this is my life now.
Maybe. There was a time when I lived by myself that I hadn't been caught up to Game of Thrones, and I had to catch up like 3 seasons.
In 2 days.
And so I did that within a week. Because what happened was I played Destiny a lot the first like 2 weeks after it came out. I played it a lot. Then it started to slow down a little bit, but then I picked it back up towards House of Wolves.
Dark Below?
Dark Below.
Which expansion? First one?
Dark Below.
Dark Below.
Played Dark Below a lot. And then by the time we got to House of Wolves, that's when I stopped.
Okay. So you're paying $50 for Destiny, which is already a discount from normal.
It is.
What would Destiny have to do to be worth your $50? Underpaid gamer rating.
Sure. It has to have a raid that is really good. It has to keep me engaged with the story. It has to have an engaging story, because that's one of the things, complaints about Destiny 1. So the story was just kind of haphazard and all over the place. Didn't really make any sense.
Okay.
I don't know if you felt the same way. I definitely felt that way. There was like no common theme through the whole thing, really. So I would like a story with actual like narrative that makes sense to me and makes me want to like the characters. Which I think they're doing.
Although there's not really that many characters in Destiny.
No.
Because it's always based around your character who never speaks.
Yeah.
Your ghost, and your fire team, so your friends. So the characters are kind of your friends, and there's like a Cora Ray and Cade and the Titan guy. I'm going to call it Lazarevich for right now because I can't remember his name.
I don't know it.
So there, I mean, and there's like the speaker, and there's the gunsmith and the crucible guy, but those are all characters, but you don't really see those characters when you're doing missions.
They don't really do anything.
So maybe they'll change. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
maybe.
What else would Destiny need to do to be worth $50 to you? Again, $10 already cheaper than standard video games.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the thing I care about most is that the PvE is fun. And if the PvE is fun, then that's what I care about.
So would Destiny 1, before any expansion, have been worth $50 to you?
Yeah.
I would also say that.
Because I didn't really get into the expansions all that much. I usually don't buy season passes either, and I didn't for Destiny, because I know myself. I don't ever play a game for the full year of a season pass.
I feel like
I never do.
Destiny is really easy to just put away. Like, Destiny might be one of those easiest games to just be like, okay, I'm done. Because there's so many different guns. There's so many different ways to get those guns. It's all based on random luck. Someone next, like, if I go into a raid and there's 3 of us, and both you and the other guy could get the same weapon that I'm looking for, and you already have 5 copies of,
and you couldn't trade, so.
And you can't trade. So as soon as I see that, I could be like, okay, I'm done. Like, it's just, I almost think Destiny is one of those things where it's like an insurmountable mountain of stuff you can do, to a point where it's almost overwhelming. You can just say, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm not making any progress. I'm done with this. As opposed to some games that kind of maybe make it easier. I don't necessarily know what's going to happen here in the future with Destiny 2 and weapons and gear and stuff like that. But for me, seeing that there's almost unlimited options of weapons and gear and items that I can get, and especially in Destiny 1, there's only limited space in the vault. Yeah. You always have to make these decisions about whether you want this or not. And at one point, I could just see myself being like, I'm tired of trying to get this thing that literally no way I play has any effect on how I get it. Yeah. So I'm done.
See, that's the loot grinding that they took from, like, Diablo or those types of games. I like loot grinding because it keeps me engaged on games longer, but it also can be frustrating in the long run. Because I know that is a good critique, because it's nice to be like randomly like, oh my gosh, look at this gun I got, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Yeah, that's a really great feeling. But then when you did the raid for the 6th time and you still didn't get what you wanted, that's when it gets frustrating, for sure.
What do you think about, like, tell me if this is just bogus. Let's say, so the armor you can have in Destiny: head, chest, arms, and legs. Let's say you did a raid and it dropped one armor item each time. What if the chances of you getting that armor item again the next time were lessened than the other 3?
I think it would make sense.
To the point where you have 3 of them, you're looking for one more, there's a 75%
higher chance.
A 75% chance or whatever that you're going to get that one.
Right.
Would that be good, or would that be bad for the game as a whole? Or would they then need to introduce more loot to specific raids later on down the pike, where they're like, now loot available from this raid equals this and this and this. That's your reason to go back and do this raid. Or should they have loot based specifically on difficulty level of raids? So if you're playing... The beta started you off at light level 20.
Yeah.
Well, it's light level 200, which makes you level 20. Which I don't want to start that way. I want to start like level 1 again and just work my way up.
Sure.
Even though you can't do anything before level 20. Whatever. But what if you did the raid at level 26 was when it unlocked, and you did that, you got these specific gear unlocks at level 28 or level 30, they all have specific gear allocated to them. Would that be good or that be bad? Because that could also mean once you get to level 30, you now have to go back and do an easy raid on level 26 just to get that specific gear, or that gear just be useless to you at that point.
Now you're talking about like a set of gear at level 26
Yeah.
or one part of the gear at level 26?
Either or.
I think it'd be cool to tie sets of gear to levels of difficulty. And obviously, like, the best gear set is in the highest difficulty.
Or what if it was even based around gameplay? Like, do the raid and get less than 20 deaths combined, you have a higher chance of getting this specific weapon.
That'd be cool.
Do the raid...
Like specific challenges?
Yeah, do the raid in under this amount of time, and you get a chance at getting this weapon. Or this many kills, or...
Yeah.
Do this without any kinetic weapons, or any elemental... No supers. No this, no that. Would that be a better... I would think that could almost be a better way to get loot. A better way, at least for my own complaint, to be saying, like, this would be easier. But at the same time, I could have friends. I could have 5 other friends, and they took just a random guy into the vault, and they already did this one challenge.
Yeah.
And now that I have to do the challenge, they don't want to do it again.
Sure.
Also, can you imagine someone in our group, if we played... And we're all going like, no supers this time.
And they use a super at the very end.
Yeah, they already had the weapons.
Oh,
so like,
my
I don't care.
gosh. I'd be so mad.
But they could tie it to like individual like super usage. You know what I mean? So like anybody else in your team could use supers except for...
Yeah, but then you run into the, get in a group, we're going to help you do this. Which I guess isn't bad.
Which already happens.
So...
I think, I mean, I was kind of spitballing there, brainstorming, but I think that those are some... interesting ways that they might have even toyed around with to getting loot and weapons. And I know towards the end of Destiny 1, they had some like very specific exotic quests for weapons and things.
Yeah. Which
I never played. But it's like, do this, do that. Go to the Crucible and get 20 kills or 20 headshots or 20 kills in a match and do this or do that. And then now you are on a path to get this gear or this weapon. I would prefer that than just random loot drops, I guess.
Yeah.
Although I like random loot drops as well.
Interesting.
But I think vanilla
theories.
Destiny was worth the $60 to spend on it.
Yeah.
And I think if Destiny 2 is just more of the same of Destiny 1, I still think that'll be worth my $60 until Call of Duty comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really not worried. Like, I don't think they need to reinvent the wheel. I think they can make some tweaks to what they did in Destiny 1 to make it better. Like fire teams, like there could be better ways to do grouping and things. I think, did they end up adding that, like a looking for group thing in Destiny 1?
They didn't add it in Destiny 1, they added it in Destiny 2. And I saw something during the beta, I don't know if this is still going to be in the game or not, but it's like...
the clans thing?
The clans thing.
There's a clans thing. I'm excited about the clans thing.
You can look, but I think what I saw was you need to have like a specific token that you can use to give to somebody to be a part of a clan or something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is a way of not abusing it, or like you have some skin in the game, so you don't just join and leave and stuff like that.
Sure.
But that also hasn't came out yet. So I don't know. Again, if this was just Destiny 1.5, which is what a lot of people are calling it, which even if that's true, that makes a lot of sense because Bungie said like Destiny's gonna be a 10-year game, so don't expect it to change left and right all the time. I'm excited to go back into this world that I haven't touched in years.
Yeah. With
friends that I haven't played games with in years because I stopped playing Destiny after the Dark Below.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm on board with you, man. I already pre-ordered it. Like I said, I'm ready to go with it. It's not here yet, so there's that. But
that's too bad.
Well, it'll come.
If Destiny 2 came to your house early,
Yeah.
Would you play it by yourself, or would you wait for your friends?
Oh, yeah, duh.
You'd play it?
Oh, yeah.
You just ruin everything?
I would play it. I would post it on our YouTube channel, and we would get lots of people.
That's not a bad idea. Amazon, make it happen.
They're listening. They know.
They know.
All right. That's all I got, man. Is that it? Anything else you want to bring up for the listeners?
Destiny, PS4 or PC? PS4.
The best.
PS4 Pro.
Duh.
Probably.
Duh. All right. Well, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, comments, jokes, anything
Comments.
you want to share with us, please do so on SoundCloud or tweet at UPGamersPodcast or email underpaidgamerspodcast@gmail.com if it is greater than 150 characters. If you want to, or if you just have nothing to do right now, go to iTunes, find us, give us a 5-star little review, and type about how much you love us, and leave that on there.
You know how easy that is with someone that has an iPhone?
It is so easy.
You know how less easy but still doable that is for someone that doesn't have an iPhone?
It's still very easy.
Yes. There's no excuse.
There is no excuse. Not at all.
I know where you live. I will come to your house and write a review for you.
There it is. So go ahead and do that for us, if you would. Check out our YouTube channel, Underpaid Gamers. Look for the sticky note guy. And sometimes we're on Twitch. So if you follow us on Twitter, the easiest way to see what we're doing is just to follow us on Twitter. So there we go.
Word.
That's what we got. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.